Okay, sure. Now leave it. It's good. We have a nice picture there of 7 interesting questions. People posing 7 questions out of us. So you are the first one on the left. You see yourself?
So I forgot my question. Okay, so my question is first about this creating the virtual camera. How much freedom do you have? Like just shifting in the panorama, you just like zoom in and get a clip of it, or you can make more rotations or like take different angles.
It's until zoom and
So it's just now shift and zoom on the panorama, right?
yes, but I don't understand what rotation is are you talking about.
If I wanted to see the player from a different angle.
The viewpoint isn't changed. So if you want a viewpoint, you need to have similar setup at different viewpoints. So we are not capturing information from other viewpoints. So we cannot generate that information from straight away like this. We need to apply some vision algorithm to create it.
Okay. The second question, how computationally expensive it is to do like a mobile device or something?
To be honest, we haven't explored it, but the laptop that got burned out doesn't have such a high-end GPU. It's for mobile NVIDIA GPU, so it's, and on that it hardly takes like 15 milliseconds.
Is it why it's up?
No, it's because of the CPU. It's a lot of compilations and running parallel things.
Okay, so now let us try. Any question, any issue following any of the talks, which are certainly not on a very broad scope we have here?
A quick one for the fake video creation. So, do you think the number of videos that we're trying to kind of increase the viewership for them are few? Right? We have only few videos, and most likely, like a fleet user will contact this botnet to request the number of views quickly for a specific video. Therefore, we expect video number 1 is receiving thousands of views next to each other, very close in time. Is it a simpler approach to just see the time and effort between requests for a given video, and it's just too close, just in case it's a fake request? You see what I mean? So suppose I upload a video and I want to get it popular, I can take this kind of polish video and say, I want to like get 1,000,000 views on this video in the next 2 days. So when this has 1,000,000 views, most likely the request then even in the second or 2 seconds. On the server side, I just take this user arrival time, and you know this cannot be happening in that short period of time to see the happening request. This would be a big review. Will that work?
You mean,
Instead of all machine learning and all entropy and all this thing.
so detect the fake views depending on the
Inter-arrival time.
interval time. So, yeah.
Use the question.
But in our study, we find that there is no fixed frequencies. These tools can send the fake view request with random interval.
But if they send them far apart, it wouldn't have much. If they take months and weeks to grow up the viewership, it wouldn't have much for that factor, right? Because I want my viewership to get high. I want it quickly in a quick way. Then I expect this botnet people to get it high for me over a short period of time. Therefore, the inter-arrival time must be small. Much smaller than normal.
Yeah, so first, it's very difficult to identify users. And second, yeah, maybe it's a better, but we didn't compare the, we believe the entropy is more efficient. And the accuracy is checked manually is very high. Maybe we can compare the method by checking the inter-arrival and the nicer view.
Inter-arrival and source idea. Most of there are few and there are so many. You cannot consume that many viewers at the same time. Therefore, they should be fit. Just a suggestion.
Little comment here. Okay, so if I want 1 million view in one day, then maybe one video can get 1 million view in one day, and maybe it is fake. So you will track the number of views among the day and say from a pattern of appearance how it's real or not. You don't know because maybe real video can get 1 million view in one day.
Not from the same idea, not from the small idea.
Yeah, the IP is different. I'm taking
So if
fine.
you relate idea, just remember to use an inter-arrival rate for the same zone, for example, you cannot get immediate views from, say, Singapore or a small country for a given view. You can, but it's unlikely.
I have a question for the posters of factory detection and the matchmaking for big observations. Because your analysis is all from data from company. Yeah, I wonder have you tried to deploy your measure to the company to attention and to the red flag, and have you encountered any problem on that? What's their view? What's their opinions about your proposals?
You mean any problem encounter in collecting the data?
After you have some result, you presented your method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, we have presented the results to them, and our research also is helpful for them to refine their system.
So have you decided? So have you decided to actually use to actually apply your algorithm?
For this,
why not?
I think they only partially use our strategies. It depends on the business decision, not a pure technical problem.
Could you share what's the main reasons they don't really actually apply your method? What kind of consideration?
Firstly, the content providers may also can get some benefit from the inflated view count. Secondly, she will only discuss this problem with the technical department. So I think the business department and I think we didn't discuss this problem with the business department. I think the technical department will discuss this with the business department to make a final decision to exclude these techniques.
I was wondering about matchmaking and the fairness of the algorithms. If people change needs a lot, or if they converge to the true working.
Okay, so we use this time to pose the questions also because I didn't have time to reply to one thought that I will share with you. Regarding games. Regarding games, for now they just didn't reply for now. But we see that there is a will for them to allow users to publicly have access to the data for also this reason, because they just released, for example, right now, I don't know, a couple of months ago, a public API so you can access directly to the data. So there is a will from them to have people working on their information. But for now, when we contact them saying that we have information, they don't reply. So it's a little bit complicated. And now for the fairness of matchmaking, people actually do converge these later years by playing a lot. I mean, it's not locally fair always, because there is some little design flaws that we show, there is some parameters shouldn't be included, but most of the time if you play a lot the game, which is also what they want, it's also way that you play a lot the game, it's good for them. if you play a lot, you will converge to what you should be normally. And I think it's where they want to go also. That when the point when you realize that if you want to get to where you should be, you have to play their game a lot and be connected a lot and invest time in the game. And it's also maybe a possibility that they will do this. So yes, it's not always fair, but maybe it's a will to be not always fair. And also there is some good studies also that show sometimes that unfairness can be also sometimes motivating for certain amount of players. They like the unfairness. They are like, okay, so this time was unfair, but I managed to overcome the unfairness, and then it's good for me. So it can be discussed a lot, the unfairness.
Yeah, I have a question for Betsy.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of the other three papers, I'm wondering whether you have looked at, and have you collect any traces of how user interact with the video, and whether you find anything interesting?
To be honest, I did the collection just before coming to Singapore, so I have all the data, but I do have plans to compare like the curves of what the expert made and the one that machine generated, because I have all the tracking of all the variables that are free. So yeah, I do plan to see some more observations from there. Haven't done it.
Mohammed, since you. I think we're this one. Then we go to.
You have one without glasses? No, I have one, so I'm reading all that. Reading glasses. So following up with the interactive part, right? So you seem to send everything to all users, right? So is that not too much over time? Given that many users will not be viewing all views at the same time, wherever it goes. So
It is a trade-off. That's the point, because you either have to process it on the server side and send parts of it, then you have a upper limit on the processing power, so you have upper limit on the user, the concurrent users, or you have bandwidth flogging because you're sending a lot of information.
we send them on demand to the user, and the user hears them. This should use on demand.
We haven't really explored that idea, but there are some works that does this.
We have to bring
Yeah.
my thought on this. So
They-
how much roughly overhead did you put? See, if you send just one stream, one view, compared to the panoramic view, how much? 5 times, 4 times, 3 times?
You mean the size difference?
Yeah, the bit rate.
It depends on the size of the virtual view too. So for example, if you take a 1920 by 1080 pixel virtual view, then yes, it's about 4 times, 5 times. But if you take a 640 by 480, then it's a lot more information that we are sending out.
More than 4.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the reason that we are looking at adaptive streaming, because then you can actually send a scaled down panorama. So for example, if the viewer is interested in a smaller viewing device, then yeah. Here it's the bare naked system that I put in front of you. It doesn't really have much of fine tuning, let's say. There are a lot of open-end questions to it, and we are working on them at the moment.
Thank you.
One more question. My question is taken by the audience. I'm wondering, what are the other challenges you want to distribute for your system? If I'm only focusing on, zooming into everything captured by a different camera, and you just go to a particular camera. How feasible is to do it that way instead of creating the panorama and so?
The thing is that I can show you how the individual cameras look. They look really ugly because we take 2K cameras which have a sort of 2:1 aspect ratio, and we turn them around so that we get more field of view on the virtual side. So what you see is really these stripes of football field. I'm not sure if anybody would be interested in just seeing that. I mean, we didn't like it. That's why this is fun. Yeah. I really don't know what to answer.
Okay, so thank you very much. I know there's food outside there, and the longer we stay here, the more the others eat. So I think we stop here, and at 2 o'clock, is that right? At 2 o'clock we continue with the session of Mohammed, yes? At 2 o'clock your session starts? Okay, well, thank you very much to the four of you for the excellent talks and discussion we had here. Thank you very much.